Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our close friend and our partner going forward in the vision of these golf courses. Please welcome Jack Nicklaus.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob, Paul, and Lyle, and most important, you, the membership, who made Desert Mountain arguably the premier private golf community in the world. It's a pretty good statement, in the world. There isn't any place like this. It's unbelievable. It's pretty hard to sometimes see the trees for the forest, but it is sometimes, this place is unbelievable. You know, you look at it from the outside, and when Lyle and I first came up here, and he said we landed a helicopter right here, and I know that Roy Dye had started roughing a few holes out, which is now down in the Renegade area. And we went down that day and looked at what was there, and didn't decide we didn't like much of that. And so we started from scratch, and you know, I think that the vision of Lyle Anderson, I've said it many times that I've never been involved with anybody with more vision, more commitment, and with getting the right thing done and making the right decision. Everything that happened up here, you know, sure, I'm the designer of the golf courses, but I promise you that I'm the co-designer of the golf courses. Everything that we did up here, Lyle was with me, and we discussed every single thing that we did. And, you know, we tried to do something different with every golf course. We tried to do something that the idea of Renegade is one man's totally, Lyle Anderson. The golf course, let's start with Renegade, because we did that golf course, and the idea was to try to create, you know, the 2 pins were on the green, which we did. The idea was to have 4 different golf courses from the to the 1 pin, and 4 different golf courses to the long pins. And I've said many times, it is the most difficult golf course I've ever seen from the back to the back. And I'm sure some of you can probably attest to that. And also, I've never seen a golf course that actually plays more fun and easier from the front to the front in the same facility. You don't all agree with that, huh? Okay. Well, I understand that. I opened that golf course in 1987, just a year after I'd won the Masters in '86. And that day, I missed 1 fairway and shot 83. They didn't take back my green coat, but I felt like I should probably give it back. But since we've had a wonderful relationship, the first idea was obviously Renegade. The second idea was, Lyle said, I'd like to have a golf park. I said, what do you mean a golf park, Lyle? He said, well, I don't want any housing inside the golf course. I'd like to do 2 golf courses that way. And that's what Cochise and Geronimo are. Cochise was meant to be the strong golf course. Cochise was meant to be the fun, sporty golf course. I think they are. I think Geronimo is a strong golf course. I think it's a very strong golf course. I think Cochise is a fun, can be tough, but I think it's relatively easy and fun. I mean, guys can shoot an awful low score at Cochise if they play well, as I'm sure they did in the Schwab Cup lately. You know, we started off with those 3. Then we came along with Apache. Apache was supposed to be, it was sort of another golf course. It was a little different flavor. We tried to keep it as natural as possible, working down through the valley on the outside over there. And then along came Chiricahua. Chiricahua. Now that was a strong piece of property. I said, you sure you want to put a golf course up there? You think we can get a golf course up there? And I said, yeah, well, I think we got one. And it is a strong golf course. It's a beautiful piece of property. What great views, what great golf shots you have to perform to be able to play it. But, you know, and then we came along with Outlaw. Now, Outlaw is totally different again. See? That's the reaction it was supposed to get. What we were supposed to get is a golf course that was really more like a Scottish golf course and a natural golf course, and hard and fast, bumpy. Golf was never meant to be a fair game, you know. And it certainly isn't at Outlaw. Because you can get some bounces there that are something else. Now, tomorrow morning we are going to Outlaw. We're going to try to see what we can do with that. And I think it's really can be done with grass. I like Outlaw too, but we want everybody to like Outlaw. But we have 6 golf courses, and when you have 6 golf courses, there's going to be something there for everybody. And that's the beauty of the debate. I love Outlaw. I love Geronimo. I love Cochise. I love to go play Renegade. You know, everybody has something that they like to do, and that's good. And they're all different. And that's what we wanted to create, is something different. I'm glad you didn't ask to do 7, because I don't know whether I had any more ideas left. But, you know, the next 25 years at Desert Mountain to me, will be just as important as the last 25. And, you know, we're working on a new golf course master plan right now. That's why I'm here, not only because of the 25th anniversary, but also to work on that. And, you know, I've taken over the job as the Greens chairman. So all complaints come to me. Stop bothering your board. And I want you to know that I don't take email and my phone is never turned on. And I don't text back. So you ought to be able to get a hold of me easily. But the whole idea is that I was asked to help and make sure that we keep the integrity and the design and everything and the golf course up to modern times. We want to make sure that the golf course that Renegade done in 1987 still has the integrity of 1987. Cochise 1988 and Geronimo in 1989, that we keep the integrity of those golf courses built in the time they were built. We don't want to take Cochise in 1988 and make it 2012. We want to keep it what it was. Apache was 96, Chiricahua 99, and Outlaw 2003. You know, that's 16 years of doing work on this property. We saw a lot of things happen out here. You know, we saw a lot of snakes. I promise you that. And one of our guys got hit by one. And when we're doing Apache. But fortunately, obviously, didn't bother him very much. But we want to work with you. I'm going to be here actually quite a bit. I'm going to be in and out. My associate, Chris Cochran, who works with me. Chris will be here more than I will be here. But we're going to keep up with your needs, with your desires. And, you know, let me see any from raise hand. Who is younger and going to be younger next year than they are this year? Oh, some of the girls I saw that do, but outside of that. Now, my point is that nobody gets younger. Memberships don't get younger. Yes, new members join that might be younger, but the membership that's here never gets younger. And I think the USGA's program of Play Golf Forward is terrific. I promise you, I play golf forward now. You know, I always used to use a statement that people always wanted to play golf like I do, and now you can. Well, Actually, if you've seen me play lately, I don't think that holds anymore. Because I don't think you'd want to play the way I do anymore. But anyway, play golf forward it needs to have new tees put on a lot of golf courses to help that along. And we will be putting in new tees on the golf courses in the forward positions to do that. We think that's very important. I know that 2 golf courses where I spent a lot of my time back east at Muirfield Village and at the Bears Club in Florida, we put in, I think, put 8 or 9 on 18 holes, put in 8 or 9 forward tees last year at the Bears Club, and I think we put in a half a dozen or so to start with at Muirfield Village. So we really want to cater to a membership that is aging. We don't want to eliminate people from playing. We have people that say, gee, the golf course is too tough, I can't play it anymore. We don't want to hear that. We would rather hear, hey, the golf course is a little difficult for me, what can we do about it? And we'll try to fix that. That's the whole idea, is so to keep you playing and enjoying the game of golf. Let's see here, what else I want to talk about? Oh, you had, you know, I had a lot of great times here playing in the tradition. And, you know, it was a shame when the tradition was moved from here. I felt very badly about it. It lost a lot of its flavor. Because I think the tradition, the way you treated the pros when they came here was better than any other senior tournament, and better than any tournament, frankly, than Augusta. I mean, I shouldn't say even other than Augusta, it actually was better than Augusta. And you treated the pros great, and I understand the way you did the tradition this last year, I'm sorry, the Schwab Cup was much the same. And the pros love that. They love coming to a place where they feel like they're welcome, they're wanted, the people want them there, and they just love being there. It was, and I've had quite a few of the guys come back to me and tell me what a great time they had at the Schwab Cup. So you're to be congratulated for a great job. I hope that you liked it. I hope you want to continue. I sort of remember the first time that when we played the first tradition here. I was 50 years old. And I turned 50 in January, but I wanted to start my senior career here on this golf course at the tradition, which I did. So I didn't play any senior tournaments until I came here in late April, or mid-April. And I remember coming here, but a long-time instructor that I used was, or taught me all my life since I was 10 years old, was a fellow named Jack Grout. And Jack passed in May of 1989. And so I'd been searching for somebody to help me with my golf game, another set of eyes, somebody that could look at me and see what they saw. And I went to 2 or 3 guys, and nothing happened. And there was a young man who I remember for years sat behind Jack Grout and me at Frenchman's Creek down in Florida and watched me hit balls and watched the way Jack Grout had taught me, and it was Jim Flick. Yay! Now Jim sat there, and I had known Jim. I knew Jim since I was 20 years old. He was a pro at La Santaville Country Club in Cincinnati, and we used to have what's called U.S. Pro-Am, which I went down and played 2 years as an amateur and once as a professional. And I got to know Jim down there. I knew him and saw him through the years, and then I started seeing him at Frenchman's Creek, and he showed up almost every day sitting there watching Jack Grout work with me. Well, I came out here at Desert Mountain struggling with my golf game. My game was terrible when I got here for the tradition. And Jim walked around that day, my practice round on Tuesday. He walked around with me, and we finally got to the 18th fairway, and I turned around and says, "Flick, you've seen me for a long time. What do you see?" He says, "Well, I don't see Jack Nicklaus." Oh, okay. What do you see? He says, "Well, yes, I see somebody I've never seen before swing a golf club this way." I says, "Okay." I said, "Well, let's finish this hole. We'll go to the driving range." We went to the driving range. 10 minutes. Jim Flick relayed to me what his thoughts were of why he didn't see Jack Nicklaus. and I started hitting the ball perfect in 10 minutes. I won the tournament, and, you know, Jim Flick was my guy from then on. You know, he always called me Mr. Jack. How many of you did he call Mr. Joe, Sam, Bill, whatever? Or maybe Miss Lucy? Mighty Mike? Well, Jim will be remembered as one of the all-time great teachers. He was a great teacher. He had a lot of great ideas. He was sort of old school. He liked to see the game of golf played with the golf club. He didn't like this position, this here, turn your hips, get your body out of the way. He didn't like any of that stuff. He said, you got a golf club here, let's figure out how you take it back and how you hit the golf ball. He came to me, oh, maybe a year or so after we've been working together, and he said, Jack, he says, you've got a legacy, and you know, that legacy should be documented. And he says, I'd like to be the messenger and do that. And we started the Nicklaus Flick Golf Schools, which went on for, oh gosh, 15 years, I suppose. And we had a great time. I didn't do much of the golf schools. It was my method and Jim teaching along with Mike Malaska and some of the other guys. But everybody loved being with him, and Jim loved teaching. You know, one thing Jim really loved was kids. And the kids that he was so proud, he always called me, you know, once a week or once every 10 days or so. I'd hear from Jim, and I say, okay, who's your latest kid? Well, I said, I got the #1 girl, #2 girl in the country, and the #1 boy. That's pretty good. Where'd you find him? He says, I don't know, they found me. And I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good reputation. And he was a great ambassador and caretaker for the game of golf. And, you know, I'm really proud and happy that you named the Performance Center after Jim. He and Jerry will be very proud. I know Mr. Jim, as always, is smiling down on us today.